Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters. We extend you a very warm welcome. Green morning, green afternoon, green evening to everyone world over from Bharat. Beautiful Bharat, vibrant Bharat, scintillating Bharat, futuristic Bharat, innovative Bharat, creative Bharat, and of course, with education, next step Bharat. Today, on International Day of Education, we extend a very warm welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the world, and we wish you the International Day of Education. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a proud privilege that today, Sunday, 24th of January 2021, when the whole world has just moved out of the pandemic and we all are rolling out, today we are going to have a very special day because when ICSI is dedicating the whole day to empower the education ecosystem globally with a focus on our Bharat. International Day of Education, when we talk about, right from the morning, now onward from 9:15 in the morning to 9:15 p.m., we are having 12-hour event today. And the theme of International Day of Education by the UNESCO is recover and revitalize education for the COVID-19 generation. We extend a very warm welcome throughout the day. We have got a lot of people being lined up. We will be starting early in the morning with Mr. Eric, who is Director and UNESCO Representative India, based out of Bharat. Thereafter, you will have Professor Satendra Dhiman Sahab. And then, of course, I'll show you a couple of slides, what we are going to roll. So hearty welcome, International Day of Education, January 24th, 2021. Our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, extends a very warm welcome to each one of you today on the International Education Day. And we pray to Almighty that the whole world should not have any difficulty and we all should pass through peaceful times. World should become a better place, and almost 1.65 billion children, those who are away from schools, colleges, universities, institutions, they all should get back into the ecosystem. We know, like doctors, nurses, paramedical people, our teachers are also great warriors. All the teachers, principals, educators, directors, vice chancellors, technocrats, you all have done a commendable job during this particular pandemic. And we salute you. We send you our best wishes and blessings. At this age, I can only say, keep making education relevant. Now, we have got a long day, 12 hours, and we are starting in the morning. Welcome and intro theme would be there in the morning, and I'm giving you the complete run for the program. And immediately after this, 9:30 a.m., we will have our Honorable Professor Satendra Dhimanji. That will be Bhagavad Gita and 10 principal Upanishad, what we talk about. विद्या से अध्यात्म विद्या की ओर जिसकी डायरेक्शन में हम चल रहे हैं, उसमें आज हमारा अगला कार्यक्रम होगा. 11:15, then we will have a short tea break for 15 minutes. 11:15 to 12:15, we will have innovative education, adding the enjoyment quotient in STEAM education. And then 12:30 to 1:30, we will have Swachh Bharat, that is waste to resource management. 1:30 to 2 p.m., we will have wellness with the Sector Skill Council under the aegis of Ministry of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Government of India. 3 o'clock to 4:30, you will have a wonderful journey to the ASEAN region through the northeast part of India, 8 beautiful states. And today we will be having Professor Amar Yumnamji. He is the Honorable Vice Chancellor in charge, Manipur University. Then 5 to 6 p.m., we will have micro, small and medium enterprise under the leadership of Rabindranath ji, our chairman, MSME sector, and Prabhu Narayan Mishra ji, who would be the resource person today. 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., you will have ancient education system in India. We'll talk about Takshila today, the world's oldest knowledge tradition. and 8 to 9:15 p.m. we will have the non-resident Indian for Indian education, where we will talk about something very important for all of us: wellness, kal, aaj, or kal. What it was yesterday, what it is today, and what it will be tomorrow. We are going to have Dr. Priya Balakrishnan ji and Dr. Vivek Natarajan joining us live from Houston, Texas, from the United States. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. We will be having this morning Mr. Eric Falt, Director UNESCO, sharing his views, recover and revitalizing. And as I told you, thereafter Srimad Bhagavad Gita, thereafter adding the enjoyment quotient in STEAM, that is today at 11:15. Thereafter, waste to resource management. We will be moving in our journey further. Importance of wellness skills in education post-COVID. And then we will be moving to northeast part of India, where we will have the distinguished speaker from Manipur University. Then we have got the MSME. Then we go to making education relevant to Takshila. Then we go to non-resident Indians, and that is wellness, Kal, Aaj, or Kal, all of us together. Our chamber has done a lot of research during this pandemic, and what we feel that basic food, basic health, basic education is very important. And ladies and gentlemen, please, early in the morning when we are starting this 12-hour non-stop journey today, I wish to share with all of you whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe. The most important is you got to believe in yourself that you can do it, you will do it, you must do it. It's necessary, it's essential. We got to help the entire global humanity. So whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make education relevant, all of us together. And of course, with these words, I hand you over to my technical team, my director, Mr. Ajay Kundal, who is going to play the message of Mr. Eric this morning for all of us, where he shared the views and he talks to us, and Mr. Eric gives his message to the whole universe. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let's start today's program. Wonderful program.
Good afternoon to all of you. I hope you're well, and I know it's not too late to wish you a happy and healthy new year. As UNESCO celebrates the International Day of Education for the third consecutive year, and as we hopefully move towards the new normal, I'm sure that today's discussions will help us to focus and elaborate ways to recover and revitalize education for the COVID-19 generation. The main objective of this year's celebration is to emphasize the need to make education systems more inclusive, more encompassing, flexible, and equitable, and perhaps the opportunity to do so given by the pandemic. This celebration also aims to outline measures that could be implemented to sustain education by focusing on the capacity of systems to innovate, thus expanding the borders of learning opportunities and enabling all education systems to ensure learning continuity. COVID-19, as we all know, has disrupted education systems around the world in an extraordinary way, affecting almost 90% of the world's student population. It has amplified social, economic, and digital inequalities, putting a generation at risk of a learning disaster. In India, more than 1.5 million school closures have affected about 286 million pre-primary to secondary school children. This adds to the 6 million girls and boys who were already out of school prior to the crisis. Today, UNESCO is releasing new global figures 1 year into the COVID-19 pandemic, which show that over 800 million students, more than half the world's student population, still face significant disruptions to their education as we speak, ranging from full school closures in 31 countries to reduced or part-time academic schedules in another 48 countries. These new figures show that worldwide, schools were fully closed in the last year for an average of 3.5 months. That is a whole 14 weeks since the onset of the pandemic. And this figure rises to more than 5 months when localized school closures are taken into account. As we continue to struggle through this highly sensitive and volatile situation, we strongly believe that it is more than ever our duty to ensure that learning never stops. As all institutions look to recover and revitalize education for the COVID 19 generation, and on this day, I want to state again that UNESCO is very keen, in particular, to promote gender equality in and through education. We will continue to emphasize ceaselessly the importance of girls' education, just like the new national education policy does. And we would like to ask again all educators and relevant stakeholders to take into account the fact that girls' education be given utmost importance as we move towards the new normal. This focus has proven to be among the most powerful accelerators for human development, and hence, more than ever, the need of the hour. From the onset of the pandemic, UNESCO has been supporting countries in their efforts to mitigate the immediate impact of school closures, particularly for more vulnerable and disadvantaged communities. We have organized various thematic webinars, produced guidance documents, and providing plenty of resources and recommendations to facilitate education for all with remote learning. The Global Education Coalition and the Learning Never Stops campaign was also launched by UNESCO with a main focus on inclusion and equity. We would also like to acknowledge the many initiatives taken by the Ministry of Education of India, who has made significant efforts to support the Indian education system by developing a wide array of courses to reach all learners via the internet, but also radio and television. With the introduction of India's new education policy, I think we have a good starting point, which can contribute to recovering and revitalizing the education system in India. The NEP has many welcome reforms when we talk about gender equality, foundational learning, holistic learning, and improving the learning outcomes of children. On behalf of UNESCO New Delhi, I would like to thank all of you for tuning in, and I hope you find the upcoming discussions insightful. The pandemic has brought along incredible disruption to education systems worldwide, but it also represents a unique opportunity to reimagine education. Together, we can do it. Thank you.
That was Mr. Eric, the UNESCO head in India, who gave his message early in the morning to entire my countrymen, my fellow brothers and sisters across the country. And he also highlighted that how the entire world had challenges, and particularly when we talk about 1.5 million schools in India, and then at the same time, 286 million children in India. And then he also made a mention that approximately 800 million students are still facing challenges world over in 48 countries. And I'm very happy that he said that learning should never stop, and let us promote gender equality further, better, whatever we can. And he was highly appreciative of the new education policy 2020 of the government of India, which came in the right middle of the pandemic, that is on 29th of July, by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, along with the Honorable Education Minister of India, Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji, and his entire team. And he also made a mention about inclusion and equity, recognizing Ministry of Education efforts, Government of India's, and holistic learning. That is something, the way forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are thankful to Mr. Eric, the UNESCO head in India, and his entire team, and the education head, Mr. Omar, and all the colleagues from the UNESCO, those are based here in India. We convey our deep thanks and regards to them, because the challenges are, he told, social, economic, and digital. All the areas have to be taken into consideration. So let's take on the journey forward. And this morning, we